A couple years ago, God really spoke to me about who I was becoming and what I was teaching my kids. As I was leading Bible studies and talking to my friends about being leaders and being an example to other people, I really had to think about some of the things that I was doing. Something I really struggled with was the fact that I had become really overweight at the time, and I didn't feel good. I felt sick all the time. I felt depressed about the way that I looked. It was very unlikely for me to go outside and run around with the kids because I just felt tired all the time. And I knew that a lot of it had to do with what I was eating and exercising, but I just couldn't make myself do it. But as I was trying to promote healthy eating for the kids, I was really convicted. Man, I'm not being an example. I'm a slave to food in my life. And I'm a slave to it because emotionally it's feeding me. When I felt nervous or scared or excited or rewarding myself or just any kind of emotion, I just treated myself with food. And so I think doing that, I had this unhealthy tie to food. And God kind of showed me, like, man, food became your God. It served you. It was like every time you were tested and there was a food option in front of you, you failed. You have no self-control over this anymore. And so I really wrestled with myself because I wanted to change, but I didn't know how. I couldn't stick to these diets. I couldn't exercise and couldn't stay consistent enough in lifestyle. I just let myself relax too much, and in me relaxing, I stayed in vacation mode, meaning like I let myself eat what I wanted to eat too often. I let myself be emotionally whatever I wanted to be, and I didn't challenge myself. So one of the things when I started to really make a big change in my own life and the way that we ate as a family, or some of the choices that we made, was really, I decided just to start with just like one decision at a time. I remember deciding, like, I don't think I want to go to the gym. I'm gonna be way too out of shape. It's been way too long. It makes, like, the thought of being physically sick like that by like working out at CrossFit, like, I know that eventually I could get good at it, but just the first few weeks of that misery, and not just that, like, at the time I couldn't afford it. And so what am I gonna do now? How am I gonna lose weight now? And that's the way my mind thought. But I started to realize it just started with lifestyle changes, like taking a walk. And maybe it's not even walking that far. Maybe it's just walking around the block. But in being true to the thing that I was convicted about, in doing things every day to push myself and challenge myself further, in doing that, I saw God bless me enormously. I saw that all of a sudden the struggle that I had with the food started to change. And I started to become very disinterested in food. To be honest, it became kind of boring to me because I was eating to feed my body and I wasn't eating to feed anything else. So anything else emotionally, I was just eating for the nutrition for my body. And so it was easier for me to make healthier choices because I was eating for a point. And in that, I think that I grew a lot because I was able to think about other things and not worry about food as much. I was able to put my attention elsewhere. I was able to practice self-control. And anytime we practice self-control, we grow in that. That's a fruit of the Spirit. That's something that we aim to have. And in doing that, it didn't just end with my diet or walking more. It wasn't like that was just key. It was looking at myself in all these areas that I had already looked at and decided I'm defeated. I can't move past this. I suck at this. I don't know how to fix it. It's too hard. There were too many of those things in my life that I had just thrown up my hands and been like, no way. This is hard. I can't see my way out of this. I'm stuck. I'm trapped. No way. And I started to realize that God's word, it gives us a way. It gives us hope. Christ came and walked on this earth. It's God in flesh, walks on this earth to show us how to be human, to show us how to love each other, to show us how to forgive each other, and to do that all the way to death. This is our reason why. And when you remember why you're living or why you're eating, you end up being more intentional with the things that you put in your body or how you use your body. it makes us more intentional in how we live when we think about what our purpose is. So I just want to encourage you, wherever you're at in life, take a step today that you didn't take yesterday. And then tomorrow, wake up and take another step further. Because each day we're not the same person we were yesterday. We're older, we're wiser. Take a step around the block, push yourself. Don't just let yourself in defeat. Remember, there is hope.